It's a dog and cat fight tonight at Stegman Coliseum. And you know how that turns out. We'll have all the highlights next.
And the dog's deed is done. What can I say? They were the best. They really stood out. They put it all together when it counts, and that's what the sport's all about.
And this may do it for Georgia here tonight.
Wow.
The Jim Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Yocklin. Welcome to the Jim Dog Show. This past weekend, our team closed out the regular season at home with another win against the Kentucky Wildcats. Not only did this take our record to 13-0 on the season so far, but we closed out the SEC season 6-0 and undefeated. What do you think, Jay, about how our team's been doing so far this year?
Well, I think the most impressive thing about what you said there is that we were 6-0 in the conference this year. And anytime you can do that in the Southeastern Conference, being the toughest conference in America in women's gymnastics, that's an impressive feat. We're excited about that. We're excited to be undefeated in general and holding on to our #1 spot. But we do have some wrinkles that we need to get ironed out going into the championship stretch, and we've got 2 opportunities on the road to do that. We had the Falls against Auburn, and then again last night with Kentucky on the uneven bars. So, you know, I'm excited about what the potential is, but we've still got some things we need to iron out.
Our team right now is potentially, physically, definitely one of the best teams Georgia has ever had. There's no question about it. But you're going to win a championship in terms of the mindset. It comes right down to the team that's mentally the strongest, and we've got some work to do there.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the first rotation with Georgia on vaulting, see how we start out against Kentucky. Here's Brittany Smith and her family being recognized tonight on senior night in Stegman Coliseum. Brittany will be competing once again in Stegman for the NCAA Regionals, and here she is on vaulting, starting out for Georgia, which she does a Yurchenko with a half front layout. Nice vault, just a step on the landing, but other than that, a really strong vault from Brittany. She, at one point in her career, scored a 10 on the vaulting.
Chrissy Cannon for Kentucky on the uneven bars. She starts for the toe shoot heck to the high bar. Pretty good handstands. Kentucky looked very much improved on this event as a Pike Jaeger, although they did have some falls on this night. With the Pike Jaeger to the overshoot. Getting ready for her dismount here, which is a double layout, legs a little bit apart, and a hop there on the landing, 9.775.
This is Katie Heenan on vaulting. She's ranked 10th in the nation on vaulting. Yurchenko with a full twist. Nice and high, nice and strong, good solid landing, maybe an 0.5 deduction. Good vault for Katie, scored a 9.875. Actually, probably could have scored a little bit higher. You can see nice amplitude, just a small, tiny hop. Excellent vault. Katie's been very consistent on this event.
Kelsey Erickson up next on the vault for us. Kelsey has one of the bigger vaults on our team. You can see she just launches this Yurchenko full. It's huge. Very, very big vault. A little bit of a pike down and a step there on the landing. Not so much of a pike down as she's had in the past. We've really been working on trying to get that out for Kelsey. Just a beautiful vault. 9.875 is her score.
This is Natalie Rubenstein of Kentucky. She's a freshman from Florida. She starts out with a Shaposhnikova from the low bar to the high bar, back to a bail to a handstand. This routine ends up being the highest score of the night for Kentucky and Natalie's career high on any event. A nice hop full, same skill Courtney Kupets does, and a full twisting double back. She scores a 9.9.
Ashley Kupets up on vault for us, doing her round off entry half front pike. Big vault again. She would do that every time. She'd be able to land that. There's a step forward there on the landing. Over rotates just a bit, but otherwise a very, very good vault, 9.825.
This is Tiffany Tolnay on vaulting. She's ranked number 3 in the country. Yurchenko 1.5 twist. That vault is so high and so impressive and so difficult. She does it absolutely beautiful. The hop is very small. You can see the landing deduction for Ashley Kupets was a big hop, so that's a big deduction. But she barely moves her feet, so that's only a 0.05 deduction, reflected in the score of 9.95. Now our team's headed over to vaulting, to uneven bars, I'm sorry. Vaulting went well, no sticks, so we've still got to improve there.
Ashley Kupets leading us off. We've been trying to get her more consistent in this spot. You can see she nails that handstand. This is probably the best routine Ashley has done all year to this point. Nice giant full, giant half to Shushanova, Everything in the handstand, that giant half got to the handstand, which we've really been working on. The bail to handstand was up. Beautiful toe on and off work. Back to the high bar. Good handstand here again. To a giant full, immediate double tuck, which she sticks. She goes 9.9, which is very difficult to do in the leadoff spot.
It's a great routine. Next up is Audrey Bowers. Audrey starts out with a full pirouette. You're supposed to complete that turn on top of the bar. It's a little bit late. Immediate Tkachev to back straddle. She misses the handstand position a little bit on the back straddle. She goes back to the high bar and gets ready for a double layout dismount, which is an E-level dismount. She takes a big step on the landing and scores a 9.8. That sticking the dismount is very important in the score.
Heather Height, a freshman from West Virginia for Kentucky. Pretty good Yurchenko full, but out of control on the landing and a pike down, 9.775.
This is Tiffany Tolnay. Tiffany's really been doing a great job on bars in practice the last week. A nice high Jaeger. She's really improved that skill from the beginning of the season. She gets ready for her bail to the handstand and just overshoots it a little bit. That's an unfortunate fall for her. Very uncharacteristic.
Lucy Bergen on vault for Kentucky. She's one of two seniors on this team. Yurchenko half, layout front. A little bit of hip draw, body position problem, 9.725.
Now here's Katie Heenan. She has a little trouble with the mount and flies forward. She's a little off right from the beginning. We need a hit here. We've already got one fall. And there you see, unfortunately for Katie and for Georgia, another fall on the bar. So that will hurt Georgia's bar score and team score.
Crystal Cook for Kentucky on vault. Crystal's a very powerful athlete. You see a huge Yurchenko half front layout. Again, a little bit of a body position issue and step on the landing. She went 9.8.
Back to bars with Kelsey Erickson. Now, as you saw earlier, Georgia's had 2 falls on the uneven bars. That means we count 1 fall in our team score. And that's, you don't want to have to do that. This is a big routine here from Kelsey. A lot of pressure on her. 2 falls already for Georgia. So far, she looks great. She looks like the national champion on these bars, and she was close to that last year, finishing 2nd on uneven bars at the NC2As. She finishes up with a beautiful double Arabian dismount, blind landing, and a stuck dismount. Great routine for Kelsey, a 9.95 score.
Courtney Kupets in the anchor spot for us on the uneven bars. Shaposhnikova to overshoot the handstand. Perfect so far in this routine. Good handstand here. Hop full to immediate Tkachev. Big time difficulty right there. A little short on this handstand. You can't see it from that angle, but from where I was standing, we could see that it was a little short there. And a good dismount, slight foot shift there, 9.9, but otherwise just an unbelievably good bar routine and a good way to close out, particularly when we had 2 falls.
At the midpoint of the competition, Georgia leads the way, 98.2 to 97.2.
The Jim Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By Makar Homes. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty. You. By Golden Pantry. Golden Pantry, we've got what you need. By the John Bull Stores of the Bahamas. John Bull, the shopping mecca of the Caribbean. And by Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official car dealer of the Georgia Gym Dogs.
It's official. Honda Cars and Trucks have made history. For the first time ever, Motor Trend Magazine has presented a single automaker with the top 2 awards. The Honda Civic and the Honda Ridgeline are named the 2006 Motor Trend Car and Truck of the Year. The all-new Civic offers a new level of performance and design. And the Ridgeline, it combines toughness, a smooth ride with innovative features. See why it's not just a truck, but a Honda. Learn about the Ridgeline and the new Civic at North Georgia's oldest Honda dealer, Phil Hughes Honda in Athens.
With over 26 active communities in the Atlanta area, Makar Homes is committed to providing superior customer satisfaction before, during, and after building your dream home. From affordable townhomes to luxurious estate homes, Makar has a plan and a neighborhood to fit almost any lifestyle. A certified professional builder with over 40 years experience, Makar Homes is built right where you want to be. For available home and home plans, Visit www.macarhomes.com.
Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes. And this week's question is, since Georgia's hosting the Southeast Regional Competition, how do we get tickets? And the answer is you can go online to GeorgiaDogs.com and order your first round of the NCAA Gymnastics Championships to be held right here in Athens, Georgia, or you can come to the Buttsmere Building or the Coliseum the day of the competition, which is April 8th. That's Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes.
Welcome back. Well, after 2 rotations, we started well on vault, and you can see we had some trouble on bars. Uncharacteristic falls from Katie Heenan and Tiffany Tolnay that we hope those things don't happen again. Really can't explain why those things happen because they don't typically happen in the gym. But we're headed to beam, and it could be a positive thing because it puts us in a pressure spot on the balance beam where we had trouble the week before, and things really went well in warm-ups over there. Suzanne, how do you feel when we're going into beam at this point?
Well, I feel great about it also because we're coming off of a great bar routine from Kelsey and Courtney Kupets. You know, Kelsey got the momentum going again with the 995 on bars, and Kelsey's starting us out on beam. So, you know, she's a key player. And when she has a good bar routine and she comes over to beam and she's focused and you know, really intense, she can really set us up and start us out right. So I feel good about beam tonight. Let's just hope we have a good beam set here, and then we can go over and end up with a good team score on floor exercise.
Over on beam, Kelsey leading off, as she always does. A little bit of a slight wobble there on her mount on the front tuck. Her series is a flip-flop layout. Pretty good. Then she has the leap series that she had trouble with last week. Right there is where she fell last week, and she comes back strong this week and connects that very, very well. Switch leap, straddle, straddle. And then dismounts and nails the landing, goes 9.8 and gets us off to a good start. Kristen O'Shields over on the floor exercise for Kentucky. She's a native of Cartersville, Georgia. She opens with a double pike there. The whip half to a Rudy on the middle pass. Front layout to front layout half on the last pass, and she goes 9.75.
Here's Tiffany Tolnay. Now, she just had the fall on the uneven bars, so she's got to regroup and come back and hit beam. So far, so good. Last week in Auburn, she did have a fall right here on this front tuck. But today, just a small bobble, 0.05 so far. Tiffany's really doing a great routine. Here's her leap combination. You can see all of the Georgia gymnasts do beautiful leaps in terms of amplitude and split. Her dismount, a double back, nice and high, and just a small step on the landing. A great routine for Tiffany and a score of 9.875.
Natalie Rubenstein up on the floor for Kentucky. Front through to a double pike. Little step there on the landing. Natalie's one of their really good freshmen that they have this year. Triple full in the middle where she stumbles back just a bit. It was a good triple full, kind of piked in the landing. And then finishes with a double full last pass for a score of 9.75.
Now you see Courtney Kupets on beam. She enters this competition ranked 3rd nationally on the balance beam, and she's had 9 scores of 5 straight weeks in a row above a 9.9. She and UCLA's Kate Richardson have entered this weekend as the only 2 gymnasts in the country that are ranked in the top 10 on every single event. And you can see her poise and her grace on the balance beam. Courtney really has tremendous amount of confidence on this event. She's had no wobbles or mistakes so far in the routine, and still hoping for that perfect 10, that elusive perfect 10, which no one from the Georgia team has scored this year. Here comes the dismount and double back, and she takes a big step on the landing, a 1/10 deduction, scores a 9.9.
Heather Height on the floor exercise, another one of Kentucky's freshmen, opens with a big double pike. Heather's a very powerful, explosive tumbler, what she was known for in club gymnastics. Front full to front layout. And then she winds up last pass with a double full and scores a 9.8.
This is Katie Heenan on the balance beam. Katie's in the last position. Georgia's really done a great job on beam so far. We had one fall earlier in the rotation from Brittany Smith, and you can handle one fall, but what you don't want is another one. So there's a lot of pressure on Katie, and she does great in this ankle position under pressure. Here's her front tuck, and that's a little squatty. But other than that, a solid routine and a double full dismount, which she sticks. Great routine from Katie, a 9.9 score. So Georgia has a terrific beam rotation and leads the way after 3 events, 147.475 to Kentucky's 145.925.
Hi, I'm Alex Domenicali, and I'm going to ask Adrian Dishman, what is it like to be from Athens and also being a gym dog?
Hi, thanks for the question. It's really cool being a gym dog now, being from Athens, because you get to see everybody that you grew up with. They're out there supporting you. Everybody from Athens recognizes you and just is always there to give you congratulations or tell you, come on, you can do it.
If you've been injured in an accident, serious neck and back pain may occur. You need to know the pros at Arrowhead.
That's right, Kevin. Car accidents can cause pain that could get worse if not treated immediately. Arrowhead Clinics has been treating auto accident victims successfully for over 25 years. At Arrowhead Clinics, we'll take care of the paperwork for you. Our first concern is your treatment. Call Arrowhead Clinics now if you've been injured in an accident. Relief, recovery, results at the Arrowhead Clinics.
I'm glad I know the pros at Arrowhead.
The Georgia Gym Dogs are red hot. Hot team. Cool water. Melwood Springs, now available at Golden Pantry. Golden Pantry, we got what you need.
The Golden Moment brought to you by Golden Pantry. And this week's Golden Moment focuses on Brittany Smith on her senior night as she competed 3 events for the Gym Dogs against Kentucky. Brittany has brought a tremendous amount of talent and leadership to the team this year. That's our Golden Moment brought to you by Golden Pantry. Welcome back. Well, I'm thrilled that we had a good day on balance beam. We ended up with our team score being tying our season high. So it was a great night for Katie and Kelsey and Courtney on balance beam. And Tiffany, too, came through with a great routine after a fall on bars. So you can really see the team developing that mental strength, which is what we're going to need at the end of the season. Now we're headed over to floor exercise. We had a hard week of training this week, 3 days of really intense floor. What do you think, Jay?
Well, I think also, back to balance beam, I think it was great to get Ashley in the lineup. I think that was a real positive thing to see her get going again. And again, those scores were not gimmies. I mean, we had some good, tough judges that were over there, and to be able to tie our season high there, I think was a real positive note going into the floor exercise. You can tell, though, the kids' legs are a little tired from the work that you talked about that we did this week. Some of that was intentional, knowing that we were not going to have much practice time from here on out, or at least through Michigan. So we knew we might be a little jelly-legged tonight, and I think, that's a good possibility. We saw a little bit of signs of it in warm-up, so let's take a look at the floor highlights and see how we fared.
Starting out on floor exercise tonight is going to be Tiffany Tolnay. We changed the order around a little bit so we could have our senior Brittany Smith go last. Starting out with our freshman in the lineup, Tiffany does a beautiful double Arabian to open. You can see the amplitude and explosiveness from her. She's just a tremendous athlete and has done so well for Georgia this year. In this competition, Tiffany's had a great score on 2 events and a fall on the uneven bars. Here she finishes up on floor exercise with a good routine and a score of 9.875.
Chrissy Cannon on the balance beam for Kentucky. She does a round off, layout, step out. Pretty good balance check there. Switch leap. I imagine that was supposed to be connected. That was a gainer layout, step out there for another D salto. And then she finishes up here with a wolf jump, a straddle jump, to another straddle jump, which is only 1/10 a bonus. And then a gainer full off the side, a little bit of a pike down, and she goes 9.775.
Now here's Courtney Kupets competing second in the lineup. Another double Arabian to open her floor routine. It's beautiful, nice and high. Takes a pretty big step forward. That would be a 0.05 deduction. Her middle pass is new this week. Front full twist to a Rudy. Very hard. That's a C to a D. And her last pass, a double pike. Nice and high. And a little wobbly on the landing there. Another 0.05 deduction. And Courtney scores a 9.9.
Abby Stack up next on the floor. Opens with a full in. We had pulled Katie out and put Abby in there. See, Abby takes a little bit of an awkward step there coming out of her piked full in first. We moved this pass to the middle this week and whip immediate double full for 1/10 the bonus, and then put more difficulty in here at the end. The front through to a double pike. Last pass, she comes in a little bit short, but again, has only been training it for a few days in that order, and we expect her to do much better with that. She goes 9.8.
Now here's Ashley Kupets on the floor, opening with a huge double pike. She just has such height in her tumbling. Gets a little bit ahead of herself here and has a little bit of a problem, but does keep it on her feet. Ashley's competed floor 2 times prior to this, so it's still relatively new in the season for her, ending with a double tuck, and she ends up with a score of 9.775.
It's Rachel Riley, flip-flop layout for her series. Rachel is from Dallas, Texas. She's friends with quite a few of our gymnasts, Megan Doolin and Nikki Childs. Switch leap to a back swing down for a 10th of bonus. And a wolf jump to a straddle jump. A little bit weak on the amplitude. Side summy, pretty nicely done. Kathleen Shreve used to do that skill for us. And then a round off 1.5 twist, a little bit of a leg issue there, and she scores a 9.775.
So in the last position for Georgia tonight will be Brittany Smith as she competes on floor exercise for very possibly her last time in Stegman Coliseum. We are hosting the NCAA Regionals, so we may see her one more time. But this is a very emotional time for Brittany, and her opening pass is a whip immediate double pike, and that is so high. That was beautiful. One of the best opening passes I've ever seen Brittany do. You can see her mother and her grandmother over there on the couch showing their support for Brittany on senior night. And there's a leap series that she does, and that does not have any bonus, but it's a requirement on floor exercise that you do 2 jumps or leaps or dance moves in a row, and so she fulfills that requirement. Her middle pass here is a whip half front full to an immediate punch front, and she did lose some speed and momentum there, which caused the front tuck to be low. That would be at least a 1/10 deduction or more. That was weak right there, but again, Brittany has not been doing floor very much for Georgia this year. She's been out injured and has been sick the entire week, so we're glad that she's out there tonight performing. We'd like to get her back in the lineup on this event, as traditionally Brittany has been a big score for Georgia on the floor exercise. Her last pass is a double tuck, which is a D-level skill, and we're looking to try to have everyone on the Georgia team finish their floor routines with a D-level skill. Hers is a double tuck. Gets nice, she does it nice and high, has a little leg separation, but a nice high double back, and a good routine for Brittany, except for that middle pass. It was exceptional, a 9.8 score for Brittany on senior night. And Georgia wins the competition with a score of 196.625 to Kentucky's 194.45. Routine of the Week, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center, and this week's routine is Kelsey Erickson on the uneven bars as she ties her season high of a 9.95 after 2 gymnasts prior to her had just fallen, comes back with a big score. That's Routine of the Week from Kelsey Erickson, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center.
I'm sorry, honey, I know it hurts. Oh, x-rays, they don't hurt at all. It's like a magic eye that looks inside of your body to see if anything's broken. This is where Hannah came to get her stitches out last year, remember? Of course, honey, Mommy will be with you the whole time. And remember, Mommy wouldn't take you here if it wasn't the best place in the whole world.
Athens Regional Medical Center, a passion for medical excellence.
Drop by drop, pure, refreshing, a trickle becomes a stream, flowing from the source, refreshing, fresh, in the store or at your door. Millwood Springs.
Countdown to the NC2As brought to you by Melwood Springs. And as you can see, we are holding strong in the #1 spot. And as we head to the SEC Championships, it's going to be a wonderful championship this year as all 7 teams are ranked now in the top 20 in the nation. And that's Countdown to the NC2As brought to you by Melwood Springs.
Well, there you have it. Another win for the Georgia gymnastics team. Not as pretty as some of our other ones. Some problems on bars like you saw, tired legs on floor, and some low landings over there and deductions on floor exercise. But our team needs to get stronger as we head into this week. A big meet on Monday with Utah, a competition next Saturday with the University of Michigan. 2 top 10 teams. We'll see you next week with the results from these 2 competitions.
The Gym Dog Show has been brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By Makar Homes. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty. You. By Golden Pantry. Golden Pantry, we've got what you need. By the John Bull Stores of the Bahamas. John Bull, the shopping mecca of the Caribbean. And by Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official car dealer of the Georgia Gym Dogs.